Hello everybody, welcome back to the final day of the RuneScape Catalyst League daily relic reveals and teasers. It's the 11th, it's Thursday, and on Monday the league will be releasing, and today we should be getting the final piece of information about the leagues. Will there be a brand new secret relic? Yesterday, of course, we saw the final potential combat relic, which was Everlasting Faith, which I thought maybe wasn't the best out of the three, but you guys of course reminded me that this relic will allow you to have Soul Split active at the same time as being on the normal prayer book, so you can have both the Soul Split healing and also the Eclipsed Soul healing, as well as being able to camp the Amulet of Zealots for more damage from regular prayers, and also getting that crit strike as well. So this should actually be really nice, and a lot of people say they want to take this because it's going to make protection prayers work the same way as they do in old school, which is good. We'll see real quick before we take a look at today's reveals if there's anything new on the FAQ real quick. Oh, fantastic. So we have a checklist of everything the Production Master skill will do, which is one of the biggest questions we've all had in this run up to the league, and Production Master was looking a little bit bad yesterday because they did confirm it's not going to work for smithing armor. So we'll see exactly what Production Master will end up doing. It will work with crafting, spinning cloth, making pottery, firing pottery, glass blowing, making leather stuff, dragon stuff, yak hide stuff. Cutting all your gems at once in your inventory will be really nice. Of course, there is a gem shop you'll be able to get to once you get your Anachronia camp to level 3. And if you have Production Master, maybe you're not going Excavator at tier 1 for that auto gem cutting, then you'll be able to cut an entire invent of gems in one action and then sell them back to the shop and repeat. Making cloth, weaving, stringing amulets, also making teleport tabs in your house, potentially kind of nice. If you don't take Fairy's Flight and you want some Trollheim herb patch tellies in your house, you can make tablets to places like that. Also in this game, of course, the house tablets, once you complete the Swan Song quest, can be right-clicked and you can send the teleport to any of the house portals in the game, like the Construction Cape in Old School, so that might be a nice option if you go Production Master. You can make loads of those really quickly. Any orbs you get from PVM, you get loads of these from things like Tazars and Abyssal Demons. You can put those onto battle staffs all in one action, and metal casting for jewelry. So if you want to make an inventory of like ruby necklaces, perhaps to make some porters, that will all complete in one action as well. You'll be able to make 28. It will also work in the fletching skill for making bows, stringing bows, turning logs into arrow shafts, and also adding feathers to shafts, bolt darts, and tipping them. I think you can only make maybe 15 lots of arrows in one go. You can increase this for certain types of arrows, but that'll still be really nice, because one of the best ways in the game to level your fletching is actually to get broad arrows at 52 and do them till 82, where you'll be able to then go straight to Zygamite haircuts. But I don't think, purely because there's only really 30 levels you have to train in fletching, it's worth taking this, because fletching's going to be super easy for everyone. We're all going to have 5 times Slayer points, so it's going to be really easy to buy the upgrade to make broad arrows, and of course all the shop stocks will be infinite, so as long as you have the money, you can buy all the broad arrow tips you need to get from 52 when you unlock them to 82 where you unlock those Zygamite haircuts. So it'll be very simple to do fletching without this. So it's going to work for all the things we expected in herb lore: cleaning herbs, mixing potions, both the unfinished and the full potions, and also crushing down primal pulp and turning that into primal extracts, which is kind of nice. Those are like post 99 farming fruit trees you can grow. And cooking, everything should work. Cooking most food, you're going to do the full invent of those all at once as well. Construction, you'll be able to make a full invent of flat packs instantly. You'll be able to convert limestone into limestone bricks all in one go. So there is a guy in the fort once you start the new Foundations quest who basically teaches you how to do the new style of construction, and in his shop he does actually sell limestone bricks, so yeah, not particularly good. But it will work in making planks, also making the refined planks, and also making the wooden frames. So it's not going to actually speed up how quickly you build the buildings in the fort, which is already the fast bit, but Production Master is actually going to really speed up doing construction, because you'll be able to turn your own logs into planks on the sawmill for free without coins, and then turning those into the refined planks and the frames. You need to make frames out of planks in order to build the buildings in the fort. So if you want to build all the buildings in the fort, Production Master actually looking like a W, but it's not going to work with smithing the Starbloom armor where you donate it at the end. It's basically the same minigame as smithing, and the post 99 fletching, those eternal magic things, which is also like smithing. It won't work for any of those. So that is pretty sad. I mean, if it did work for them, it would be really strong, I guess. But considering this is up against Clue Connoisseur, which is pretty big, and also Rejuvenated, where you're going to get a choice of any of the tier 1, 2, or 3 picks, I don't know quite how good we're looking, but we'll take a look at all the relics in a minute. And then finally, will the mobile perk work in conjunction with tier 3, where you get all the movement abilities at 5-second cooldown? Yes, it will. Either the mobile perk on your armor or the Shadow's Grace relic power from Archaeology will both stack with the League's passive. So if you really want to, you will be able to get 2.4 second cooldown dives and surges, which you don't really need, but if you're early in archaeology and you don't have anything else on your monolith, I think it's only like 60 arc or something to get the mobile perk, you might as well just equip it. But I can see you just not needing this in the long run. 5 second surge and cooldown is already fast enough. So here it is, the final day. Let's take a look at this finally for the final confirmation. So as we know, tier 1 is going to be Excavator, Divine Woodcutter and Animal Wrangler, the 3 tier 1 tool perks that they showed us before these reveals even started in that initial video. We already know pretty much all the details out of all of these. Personally, I'll be going Excavator because it is just, I think, too strong. These other ones, they help you for like 3 skills each. Excavator actually helps you for 4 skills, and those skills are all really important. Archaeology, massive. It's going to be a huge boost to your archaeology, and it also gives you free crafting because you can mine pre-cut gems, and it also gives you free smithing because you can just mine bars. Woodcutting also helps you with fire making, but provides no like fletching bonus as well. Also gives you divination, but at tier 4 we're going to get access to Gate of Eladinis, and we're also at that point going to have 4x drops. So the memory dowser will already be a 1 in 120 at that point. Obviously you need I think 80 div to use that, but you can just do caches which will have their XP multiplied already, so I don't think divination is that important. Plus you get tons of it from quests if you do want to quest. You get a few million divination from doing all the quests in the game. So, and then Animal Wrangler, I think this one's good if you're going for like 200 mil all, in terms of just how much time it saves doing fishing and cooking. Food's not going to be too hard to get, and of course Hunter, already a super easy skill. You can of course use any of these tier 1s for the skilling nodes outside Croesus, gather that fungus and AFK troves, because whichever style of these you do pick, there will be a node outside Croesus that you can gather from AFK. You'll be able to send the fungus straight to your bank and stack up those loot chests. And then tier 2, confirmed it's Golden Footed versus 5-finger discount versus Farming Frenzy. Initially I wasn't sure if Farming Frenzy would be in tier 2 because I feel like it is quite strong. I was originally planning to go Golden Footed, but now seeing the layout of the league with all the passives and all the XP we're actually going to get, I'm actually going to skip out on Golden Footed. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think we'll need the money from it even this early, because we will have a few quests auto-completed, so if the quest point reward shop is available, we can go pretty much straight there and claim one of those dice, which contains I think like 100k cash, and then we'll also have instant access to Menaphos as well, and we'll have instant access to Prith as well, so I don't think money will be too much of an issue. And there's also a lot of places in the game where you want to wear like a full skilling outfit, because there's a lot of invention outfits that require you to wear every single piece, which always also includes a pair of boots. So Golden Footed, I'm not going to be taking. I can absolutely see the benefit in Farming Frenzy, but of course we can buy lots of potions, and if you do hit tier 7, then you'll be able to just spam that advanced time spell and train your Herblore in the Dream of Ear if you do that quest as well. And then 5-finger discount, there's just something so nice about being able to go straight to Prith, and we will if you can just really quickly get yourself like 91 thieving. You'll be able to just auto pickpocket elves all day long, get noted supplies, clues, all sorts of useful stuff, and also some other monsters around the game like dwarves and stuff for Starbloom seeds. So I might be going 5-finger discount tier 2, something like that. Tier 3, a nice set of 3 teleports. Fairy's Flight looking nice. I don't think you'll probably use the Spirit Tree very often, if at all, but having remote access this early in the league to like unlimited fairy rings will be cool. Weirdly with Fairy's Flight though, it did say it does auto-complete the Tree Gnome Village quest, which you'd expect because you have access to Spirit Trees, but it didn't say it's going to auto-complete Fairy Tale 2 or 3. I'm sure it will, or you'll just be allowed to use the fairy rings regardless, but it would be strange if you get to tier 3, you take Fairy's Flight, and then you can't use the fairy rings until you've done that quest. Assassin's Insight I feel like is a little bit underpowered. It's obviously good for Slayer, but I think anytime you're not doing Slayer, it's not one of the best. I feel like teleporting to certain monsters and dungeons, just generally if you're like questing or training other skills, is maybe not the most useful, as opposed to teleports in the overworld instead. But of course I think any of these 3 you do take are going to be good, because of course when you do get that tier 3 you also get dive for free, and you get those 5-second cooldowns on your surge and dive. So even if you don't have a specific teleport to somewhere, you'll be able to teleport nearby and zoom over there with your abilities. Tier 4, of course, things heat up. We get our jump up in XP multiplier. We go from 6x at tier 2 up to 8x at tier 4, and then we also get access to the Gate of Eladinis here as well. Now this is where Rejuvenate comes against Clue Connoisseur and Production Master. I'm interested in Production Master. I feel like if you're going Excavator anyway, it's probably fine that it doesn't affect smithing, because you could argue the most annoying part of smithing is making all the bars and gathering all the ores, and finding out this will actually work on construction is kind of nice, but there's probably going to be a lot of tasks under Clue Connoisseur, and also Clue Connoisseur, it's going to make you quite a lot of money from the common loots available from clues, so that one's going to be good. Rejuvenated, I can pretty much only see you taking this if you want two things in tier 2. Maybe you want both thieving and farming, or maybe you're really desperate for one of these other gathering tools at tier 1. The gathering skills are probably the easiest skills in the game. It's the production skills that are harder. I don't know that I'd necessarily roll back for a tier 1 choice at tier 4 and skip out on two decent tier 4s. Obviously, Production Master, for the Production Master part of it's not that good, but you are going to get that +6 in all the skills that it does affect, so you'll be able to do higher level training sooner, and also you're going to get all of those Seren spirits and Invention spirits, Clue Scroll spirits you can click on, and XP spirits as well. So you can wear this doing pretty much anything and get more experience, which is nice, and you'll also get those infinite urns in every skill. All the skills that have urns, you're going to be getting a good 20% more XP, something like that. So this one does cover you a lot for just generally playing. Then Rejuvenation, it's if you want to go back and pick something specific that you've set your heart on, but maybe you can't fit into your build. And then Clue Connoisseur, it'll be nice if there's a lot of clue tasks, and if you want to go for like the Clue Scroll pet, the pet that you get randomly from Master Clues, and also the other pet you can buy in the Clue Scroll reward shop. And then next league, you'll start off with 2 clue pets. That could be something to do. We do have to kind of see how many Master, Grandmaster tasks are going to revolve around clues, because there's only a few and there's not that many points in clues. I don't think it's that worth taking, but don't forget this is also a nice teleport option as well around the game. Me personally, I don't know what I'm going to take in tier 3 or 4. I'm leaning towards Production Master, but also don't forget a lot of the skills in Production Master not going to be that difficult anyway. Crafting, you can already do that with a no supplies method when you get access to Gate of Eladinis, which is at this tier. You could just go in there and like click the rock AFK. Also construction, you can get that also from playing Gate of Eladinis, and then it also doesn't help smithing, but will be nice for herb lore and things, especially if you do go farming frenzy and you're getting like 10 times the herbs out of all your farming patches. Maybe you just want to process through all of those super fast, maybe not. But you know, I can see you again taking any choice here at tier 4, same as tier 3 and 2 and 1. I think they've done a great job with all the relic tiers here. I don't think there's a single tier where one of them is way worse than the other 1 or 2 or 3. They've done a pretty good job about balancing everything in every tier. Tier 5, of course, you will hit all your combat choices. There are 4 picks, you can only pick 1, so basically you just want to pick what style you're going to be using in the league the most. Soulborn, of course, gives you the ability to skip doing the souls in the well if you do want to do all the necromancy quests. Otherwise, that is something you do have to grind if you want to go to like Raziel or something. I think there's a testicle 100, so if you're not picking necro, you will still have to do the soul well. But of course, at tier 1, we do get a passive where that fills up 4 or 5 times faster for everybody. But if you do want to play with necro, you're going to have a 95% chance to save your runes and your ectoplasm, so you're going to be able to always use all your conjures everywhere. You don't have to be frugal with it. Ranged will be really nice if you're doing like Slayer, because you're going to always have AoE attacks. It is only in a 1-tile range, which is a little bit of a letdown, and you'll also have a 95% chance to save that ammo. And of course, we do have access to making dying arrows immediately. You just need 95 fletching and some fire making as well, and then you can tip them with essence from God Wars 3 to give them unique effects. But like I say, I don't think there's a lot of single target damage here, apart from the fact once again you'll be able to camp the best in slot arrows and save them most of the time. But the other ones, I think maybe necro a bit less. The other ones do give you at least some unique stuff to the league, whereas the range one, yes, you'll be doing AoE, but if you're fighting a single target boss with no adds, you're not going to feel any different, I think, to the main game. Magic, of course, 50% more damage from crits, as well as chance to save combat runes, pretty tasty. If you want to go a nice crit base build, maybe you want to go Everlasting Faith at the end, you can get that crit from having Eclipsed Soul on, or maybe you want to go Ascension for that 12% crit from that passively. And of course, melee has probably the most effects out of all of them. I think I've seen the most people saying they're going to go melee. Of course, you get an extra tile of range, you get 500 damage added to every attack, you get 10% lifesteal. Really, really juicy stuff. Again, no idea which one I'm picking. I'm going to kind of leave it and just vibe it out, see what style I'm using by the time I get to tier 5 and maybe pick that. I'd like to go magic because it's very easy to gear up with. Should be quite easy to do normal mode Kerapak and normal mode Sanctum relatively early, and you can get yourself both Kerapak wrist wraps, G-Conk, and the tier 95 wand and orb, and you'll have a decent drop rate by the time you hit tier 5, so it shouldn't even take long to get both of those. Maybe go for the fractured staff after that, go to Virago. Tier 6, a very difficult one. This is probably the hardest choice I think in the league because it's only a 2-way pick. Banker's Note, people are saying are a little bit underwhelmed by this one. A lot of people are going to go Perfection just for infinite invention materials. You're going to be able to train your invention by making things instead of just the normal way of siphoning your gear. But then Banker's Note, of course, it's going to give you a bank everywhere. I guess it depends how much questing you have left by the time you reach tier 6, because having access to the bank wherever you are is so good for questing. But if if you're not that interested in questing, or you've got most of your questing out the way at tier 6, maybe you just want to get invention perks on all your tools, armor, and weapons, and also not have to do any divination to charge them. Pretty tough choice. Again, I don't know which of these two I'll be picking, but I'm interested to see what people do. And then finally, the most interesting tier for me personally, the big combat effects. Are you going to go for those stats, occasionally going all the way to 255 for a few seconds, a constant 12% chance to crit, and random activations of 1 to all of the god books at once, firing off loads of free damage? Are you going to go specialist, where you're going to get a free EOF? You're going to get yourself 50% more damage from every spec you do, not just the one in the EOF, and of course the ability at a bank to change what special attack is stored in your necklace to any of the special attacks in the game. Very versatile, but maybe a little bit more intense than the other two. I mean, it's certainly more inputs because the other two are completely AFK. Or are you going to go Everlasting Faith, have 100% prayer, have those protection prayers block 100% of damage? You're going to get free Soul Split while protecting. You're going to be able to use Soul Split on the normal spellbook while using Eclipsed Soul and an Amulet of Zealots for a bit more damage. And also, if you do happen to die with this on, every 5 minutes you get a free revive wherever you're stood. So some very, very juicy choices. We actually got all these right between us, which I feel is really, really good. And then once again, here's a recap of the passives we'll be getting at all of the different tiers. 10 points, tier 1, 4 times multiplier. What I will say though, you'll be wanting to rush to tier 2 as soon as possible. It's only 750 points. And when you do get to tier 2, you get double drops and you get 50% more XP over tier 1 straight away. Just want to shout out a really good video here by Holly RS. It's a video walkthrough with a spreadsheet as well you can open and check off the tasks, follow them in order, and it's a nice easy way from the start of the league around Lumbridge, where to go, what to do to get to 750 points super quick. I think however you're planning to play and whatever relics you're planning to pick, I would go for tier 2 ASAP before you really do anything else, because it is such a big jump up in XP. You'll want this multiplier before you even go do any early game quests or anything, just to get another 50% out of it. Of course, in the league, we're going to have a bunch of free stuff. We're going to feel super powerful. Even at tier 1, our hit chance is going to be increased by 20%, which is nice. Early game combat, even with like rats and early Slayer monsters, going to be a little bit nicer to do. We're going to get more Thaler from minigames, which is interesting because there is a task to win a game of Castle Wars, so maybe there's some other tasks where we actually have to play minigames. We're going to be surging around real fast. We're going to have a ton of teleports come tier 3. Tier 4, XP is going to go up again to 8x, and we're going to get that 4 times drop rate, and Gate of Eladinus will be unlocked. At this point, you can really start doing some bossing if you want, because even if you're at tier 3, you're still only going to have that double drop rate, but that's going to go up to a 4x drop rate if you wait till tier 4. And then we're going to get our free spells, our free curses, Reaper's Choice, Vorkath and a Masker, Ring of Vigor passive, and spellbook swapping in Lumbridge at tiers 5 and 6. XP is going to go up to 8x and 12x, so you could also do some skilling here when you do hit tier 4, because you're not going to get another multiplier at tier 5. And then tier 6, of course, 12x, tier 7, 16x XP, and also we'll get our huge combat boosts and our 6 times drop rate. So we've fully got everything confirmed here in terms of the relics, where they're going to go, what they're all going to do, and a couple more clarifications for some of the weird ones like Production Master in the FAQ. So this is it, guys, the final day of our 2 weeks of daily relic reveals. Interested to see what you guys are going to do build-wise. Do let me know down in the comments below. Couple of things to start out in the game. If you've never played the game before, I would certainly hit up the rsguide.com. This is a new website created by the RS Guy on YouTube, and it takes you through basically all the basic concepts, how to physically set up the game and like set up all the horrible interfaces and settings you have to do, some recommended options for that, where to put your bars, like the buttons you can set up, how buffs work, how you can move them. It's an amazing website. They're constantly working on it, and it's amazing for new players. So if you are coming from old school, or you're new to RS3, or you've just not played in a while, the rsguide.com. And then once again, also for starting out the league itself from tier 1 getting to tier 2 quickly, I would recommend Holly's video. It's really, really good, and it'll get you set up nicely to start the game with those double drops and 6 times XP, and then go about and do your thing. A couple of recommendations for the league though. I would, as soon as you can, get both the Fally and the Wildy Lodestones, so you can do your caches and your Wildy Flash events if any of them come up that are non-combat, so you can do them early. I would do the Archaeology tutorial as soon as you can. You'll get 500 more max health. You'll also get the Archaeology book to teleport to the guild east of Varrock. Just a nice telly, and you can interact with the teleport table in there as well to send yourself to the various dig sites around the game. I would take the boat near the dig site, go start Anachronia, because it's time gated and you will want the base camp to be level 3 as soon as possible. Get that set up if you can day 1. Obviously you can advance time on it when you do get to tier 7 as many times as you want, but you are going to want it earlier than that. just so you can have access to like the Laniakea Slayer Master and Big Game Hunter and the Agility course on there, as well as be working on that base camp as you go. And then finally, don't forget guys that both Menaphos and Prifddinas are open straight at the start of this league, so you can go straight to either of those if there's any activities that you have access to. Maybe you're going 5-finger discount, you can go over there and pickpocket from those merchants in Menaphos, get these little boxes you can open for a guaranteed 50k coins each time. And also if you are thieving and you're not taking 5-finger discount, you can go straight to Prif, talk to Arianwin, and you can claim the Traherne Exoskeleton Skilling Outfit for thieving, which is normally a reward from the Plague's End quest. But since we'll have that auto-completed, you can start the game at 1 thieving with a thieving outfit, which will give you some bonuses. So that'd be nice for the non-5-finger discount pickers. That's it from me. Thank you for tuning into these videos for the last 2 weeks. Let me know in the comments what you'll be taking. I'll see you guys maybe next time for the next RS3 League or something. If you do like hearing my voice, there is an old series on my channel called Bag Only Ultimate Iron Man on Old School, where I talk at length for probably 50 hours. So if you're interested in that now dead series, you can check me out over there. Otherwise, like and sub, and I'll see you for the next lot of RuneScape content, whenever that may be.